Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Power is not about proving you're right, it's about achieving your goals. Too many people believe that arguing, debating, and convincing others with words is the way to win. But words rarely change minds, they often only create resistance and resentment. Actions, on the other hand, are undeniable. Think about Galileo Galilei, the brilliant astronomer. In the 17th century, he knew the earth revolved around the sun, but the Catholic Church insisted the opposite was true. Had Galileo aggressively argued, he would have been executed, like many before him. Instead, he used a different strategy. He dedicated his discoveries to the Pope, framing them as mere observations, not challenges to authority. This subtle approach allowed his ideas to spread without immediate destruction. Later, his work helped transform our understanding of the universe. Now, contrast this with the fate of Socrates, the great philosopher of ancient Greece. Socrates loved arguing. He humiliated powerful men by exposing their ignorance through relentless questioning. Instead of winning influence, he made enemies. The result? He was sentenced to death for corrupting the youth. His logic didn't save him because logic alone doesn't win power. If you prove people wrong publicly, they will hate you, not respect you. A more modern example is Steve Jobs. When he was forced out of Apple in the 1980s, he could have fought with words. Instead, he let actions do the talking. He built Next and Pixar, proving his vision and talent. Years later, Apple was struggling, and the company that had fired him had no choice but to bring him back. Had Jobs spent his time arguing and complaining, he would have remained a bitter exile. Instead, through action, he regained control of Apple and turned it into one of the most powerful companies in history. This law applies in everyday life, too. Imagine you're at work, and your boss favors a terrible idea. You could argue, explain why it won't work, and risk bruising their ego, or you could quietly prove them wrong. If you take action, create a better solution, and let the results speak for themselves, you avoid unnecessary conflict and emerge as the true leader. One of the greatest examples of this law is Abraham Lincoln. As a young lawyer, he learned the hard way that arguing never worked. Early in his career, he got into a heated legal dispute, winning the case but making a lifelong enemy. He realized that persuasion through action was far more effective. Instead of humiliating opponents, he used humor, diplomacy, and silent strength to win over enemies. That's why, when he led America through its Civil War, he turned former foes into allies, securing his place as one of history's greatest leaders. But failing to apply this law can be disastrous. Look at Colin Kaepernick, the NFL quarterback who became known for kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice. While his message was powerful, he engaged in public verbal battles with the league and the media, which ultimately led to his exile from professional football. If he had found ways to take action behind the scenes, building influence quietly, he might have secured a more lasting impact within the sport. There's a reason why politicians rarely answer direct questions. They know that outright arguments create enemies, while well-planned actions shape public perception. Silence, strategic moves, and undeniable results are far more effective than heated debates. This law is simple but powerful. Stop wasting time trying to convince people with words. Instead, let your success speak for itself.